Welcome. My name is Kasia Kaminska. My friends call me Ka, and this is the Feeling Path Illuminated. Today I want to share a dream with you. A dream I had a few nights ago. And a dream that feels important to share with you because it's the feeling inside the dream that you need to know about. Because it doesn't matter how we get there, we're all actually reaching for the same thing, and that's a feeling. And so in this dream, I was living out my highest self, that version of me that I haven't been yet, but every once in a while I get a feeling of, or a picture of, or I dream something, like I did just the other night. The dream happened in 3 parts. In the first part, I was walking down a street, and I could see simultaneously in front of me and behind me. In front of me, the scene looked like it always does, but behind me, I sensed a person approaching, and I could feel their malevolent intention. However, the way I felt inside remained the same. I felt certain and safe. And I merely swept my arm behind me, and the energy from my arm pushed that person off me as though they were bouncing off an invisible wall. And I just kept walking. In the second part of the dream, I was walking through a factory, a kind of dark and dreary place where people were being taken advantage of, and they were working in poor conditions and low lighting and heat. And as I moved through this space, this time I reached out my hand, and from my hand came the most bright and warm blue light. And this light was so powerful that whatever it illuminated either dissolved if it was negative and dark, or became full of love and enlivened if it was already beautiful. And inside me, I felt exactly as I did that first time. I felt certain. And in the third section of the dream, I was once again in a factory, but this time deeper into the workings of it, and those people that actually ran the place. And I was looking for the chief, for the commander, for the one in charge. And in this one, I used my voice. And it was the sound of my voice that commanded them, because inside me, I felt certain. And I knew who I was, and I knew how to move through the illusion around me. And I understood what I had to do, which was simply maintain that feeling of certainty. Now, why do I share this story with you today? This particular dream? Because the very mechanisms of the environment you're in, where most of the people around you are afraid of a flu, is giving us all the impression that there are malevolent forces that we are weak to and helpless to. And we feel at the mercy of everybody else's storyline. But you don't have to feel that way, because your true nature is certainty. You know who you are. And like me, there's been times where you felt the true nature of that self shining through. And it's time for us to let go of all this fear we have, that we are powerless among overpowering forces. It's just not true. I'd like to read you now just a little excerpt from Messages from the Body. And I'll leave a little inscription or a little write-up of the book in the comments below, so you can have a little bit more definition about what I'm reading you here. But just listen to this one part, because this is where flu, influenza, virus infection is described. So have a listen to this. Quote unquote, at their mercy. They have feelings of being under the influence of malevolent forces and of being weak and helpless. It may reflect the vulnerability, feelings that accompany times and processes of great change. There is a fear of attack from others and of taking life in fully. They have a strong experience of lack of support and protection. They have the experience that the very worst is about to happen to them. There is a good deal of internal conflict, confusion, and susceptibility to suggestion, especially from the world of agreement, or the group mind, or statistical proofs. They are the product of severely untrustworthy family patterns arising out of a deeply and fearful family paradigm. Now take a deep breath. And just let that sink in. You see, you're being made to feel that you have no power by the simple narrative out there, and just how it's impacting you from day to day. You are, little by little, being encouraged to give up your own power. And more than that, to not even acknowledge the potential, the inherent potential of what lives within you. That's already there. Just waiting for you to let it out. Now, how about we just do this together? Because right now, life is a hands-on process, and your participation in your own well-being is the most important thing. Because as you do something and stand up on your own behalf, you get a little closer to that certain confident you. And although your dream of yourself might be a little different than mine, I know that there's a superhero version inside you that is just yearning to get out. And so, what if we just release ourselves from this feeling that we're at their mercy? And little by little, empower ourselves to our own feeling about ourselves. Because I do know this one thing for certain, that if you feel as certain as I did in that dream about yourself, you will accomplish anything and everything that you set out for yourself, because that's the way it works. So let's tap gently now on the side of our hand and repeat with me. Even though I still feel at their mercy, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. You're doing great. And again, even though I still feel at the mercy and influence of malevolent forces, I can forgive myself for that. Even though I still feel weak and helpless and at their mercy, I deeply and completely love and forgive myself for that. You're doing amazing now on your forehead. I now release myself from feeling that I'm at their mercy on the top of your head. I now release myself from feeling weak and helpless. You're doing amazing on the back of your head. I now release myself from believing that I'm influenced by malevolent forces. Over your ears, I now release myself, and I release my inner child from feeling afraid that I'm at somebody's mercy. Underneath your eyes now, I now release myself, and I release my body from feeling unsupported and unprotected. Underneath your nose now, I now release myself, and I release my body from all those experiences I had where the worst was about to happen to me. You're doing great on your chin now. I now release myself, and I release my inner body, all my cells, from feeling that I'm at their mercy. On your collarbones now, I now release myself, and I release my beautiful body from my habit of feeling vulnerable, helpless, and weak. Now, on your heart, I am a powerful creator. I am strong. I am confident. I matter. I am clear. And I move with the flow of life. Now take a deep breath. Remember, you are as powerful as you allow yourself to believe. Now, are you ready to believe something more about yourself? We do, and we love you.